shadows in the grid. The stars had never felt so quiet. Deep in the uncharted sector of the Thalvar system, the alien fleet drifted in calculated formations, their sensors scanning every light year for the faintest anomaly. Every pulse of energy, every microscopic fluctuation in the void was catalogued and analyzed. They were certain nothing could escape their vigilance. And then the reading stopped. It began as a flicker, almost imperceptible, in the holographic waves dancing across their control decks. The sensors, engineered over millennia, began to distort, twisting data into incomprehensible patterns. Crews leaned closer, their multifaceted eyes widening at the sudden chaos. A distant human fleet, thought to be a myth whispered among reconnaissance units, had entered their detection zone, but the sensors could not see it. Not entirely. The alien captains barked orders, attempting to recalibrate, to force clarity, but every pulse returned nothing but warped echoes. Something was there, yet the instruments could not define it. And then the ships appeared, slow at first, as if testing the boundaries of space itself. Massive hulls shimmered with light that no known material should emit, glowing lines pulsing across their surfaces in an intricate rhythm. Each vessel moved with precision, yet with a sense of purpose that unnerved even the oldest of the alien admirals. Panic rose quietly at first, a whisper through the fleet corridors, a sense of unease that could not be measured or predicted. The aliens had faced countless adversaries, civilizations that underestimated them, but none had ever been invisible to their instruments while still present. A small scout vessel attempted a closer approach, sensors flickering violently as it neared the nearest human ship. The readings collapsed entirely, the alien crew staring at their consoles as if the universe itself had betrayed them. A murmur passed through the fleet command. Humans were not just arriving. Humans were rewriting the rules of perception. From the observation deck, the Thalvar captains glimpsed the first sign of intent. A single human ship turned, and from its bow a light surged, cutting through the darkness. Not as a weapon, but as a signal. It was precise, deliberate, and unmistakable. The aliens could feel it more than see it. The message was clear: we are here. And in that moment, for the first time in countless cycles, the Thalvar fleet realized they were blind. The void around them seemed to breathe, and from the unseen depths, a shadow moved that no sensor could measure. The humans were no longer a rumor. They were a presence, and the universe had just shifted. The ghosts of space. The alien fleet trembled in silence. Every captain and officer stared at their failing consoles, their minds grasping at the impossible. The human ships were visible now, shimmering like fragments of starlight, yet no instrument could capture them accurately. Their presence bent reality itself, and every attempt to measure, scan, or lock onto them ended in chaos. Reports flooded the central deck. Signals vanished mid-transmission. Drones sent to probe the anomaly returned as blank images, empty coordinates. One scout reported a sound in the void, a hum that seemed almost alive, yet it came from nowhere. The aliens knew their sensors were more than tools. They were extensions of their perception, and for the first time, perception had failed. A murmur of fear rippled through the fleet. The Thalvar, who had conquered countless systems, were strangers in the darkness. They had never faced anything that could exist and evade them at the same time. Every protocol, every tactic felt suddenly obsolete. Then the humans moved, not as a fleet in formation, but like shadows weaving through stars. Ships appeared and vanished, leaving trails of faint light, patterns too precise to be random, yet too alien to understand. One of the smaller vessels skirted an entire wing of the fleet without triggering, a single sensor, passing as if the ships themselves were invisible. The alien admirals gathered on the observation bridge, eyes fixed on the dance they could neither interpret nor predict. "They are not attacking," one whispered, though the words carried no comfort. "They are studying us." The humans were not bound by fear or hesitation. Their ships radiated energy not meant for destruction but for control, and the aliens sensed it instinctively. Every pulse of the human fleet resonated with a rhythm they could not decipher, a precision that defied logic. And then came the first strike. Not a weapon, not a beam, not a missile, but a subtle disruption. Alien engines fluctuated, power grids sparked, and entire sections of the fleet shuddered. No damage could be seen, but every alien captain knew something fundamental had changed. Humanity had entered the space of the Thalvar, and space itself obeyed them differently. Panic had become certainty. The humans were not simply invisible. They were a force that the Thalvar could not predict. and every passing moment revealed more of their uncanny mastery. Even from a distance, the aliens could feel the tide turning, a shift in the very physics of observation and control. In the void, the humans moved as though guided by a secret only they could see. The alien fleet was no longer the hunter. They were prey in a darkness they could not measure, and the warning pulsing through every bridge was clear. The hunters had arrived, and they were unlike anything the galaxy had known. When shadows became reality, the Thalvar fleet had never known such silence. Their sensors remained broken, their instruments useless, and yet the human presence pressed closer with a calm inevitability that chilled even the most battle-hardened officers. The alien fleet's formations wavered as if the very space around them resisted their control, and then the humans revealed themselves fully. The enormous flagship moved into view, a cathedral of gleaming metal and flowing energy, its surface etched with patterns that pulsed in perfect rhythm with the unseen currents of the void. Smaller vessels fanned out like shards of light, weaving around the alien ships with precision that seemed almost alive. The aliens scrambled, desperate to respond, to organize, to strike, but every attempt was too slow. The humans were everywhere and nowhere at once, phasing through the edges of perception. Holographic readouts shattered into meaningless data as the flagship's energy field distorted, the very sensors meant to track it. A single alien captain finally spoke, voice trembling. "It is impossible. They should not exist like this." The words carried a truth that was undeniable. Humanity was rewriting the rules of warfare, of detection, of presence itself. They had arrived and they were untouchable. The humans did not attack conventionally. No beams of destruction, no flares of aggression. Instead, the alien fleet faltered. Engines overloaded without reason. Communication arrays burned out. Sensors, weapons, navigation. Every system faltered in the wake of the humans' arrival. It was as if the humans were not just ships, but living commands that bent space and perception to their will. From the observation deck, the aliens could see the inevitability. Ships that had once been their pride now floated powerless, while human vessels glided through the void like ghosts with intent. The flagship's light swept across the fleet, a silent judgment. There was no mercy in their presence, only an unspoken dominance, a message that could not be ignored. And then the humans signaled, not with weapons, not with fire, but with patterns of light, precise and deliberate, a warning across the void. Any alien who could perceive it understood instantly. The humans were not here to negotiate. They were here to assert. They were the force the galaxy had underestimated for too long. The Thalvar fleet wavered, confusion and awe battling in every mind. The humans did not need to destroy. Their presence alone was enough. In that moment, the void itself belonged to them, and the aliens could only watch as the impossible unfolded. The day alien sensors failed, humanity appeared, and in the shadows of their arrival, a new reality was written, one where no fleet, no empire, could ever claim dominance over the unseen power of humans.